Hello and welcome back to Riled Up. I'm Dan. This is Andrew, and I can hear myself. Sorry. What is going on?
He is Dan and I'm Andrew, and I can't hear myself, so I'll continue talking for a second. So this week we are riled up all about the market, even though this is not financial advice.
Not
He has
financial.
got
No.
it isn't.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something that we have to say a lot because apparently you can't even get an ad without, you say the word market and they're like, we know that you're not talking about a grocery store, and we're going to need you to stop that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like, I'm trying to run some Facebook AdSense. I want to get get the podcast popping off a little, get some more people. We get some views. I mean, so actually, the openings get the most views. MetaZoo in particular, for whatever reason, but more recently, some of the Fab openings are getting like 25, 30 people just watching the VODs and stuff. So that's been cool.
Oh, nice.
But I want active participation in the podcast. So I'm trying to run some ads. Lots of restrictions. I was very excited. We're gonna do an EV review of all of our cases later on today. But boy, does Facebook not like that. I was like, market analysis. They're like, ooh, you can't say that. That's FCC. The SEC won't let you be. But it's
Well, I mean, trading cards are not regulated by them, but you just get auto banned or whatever.
Yeah, and then you try to mix it up. I'm like, oh well, let's talk about the EV of flesh and blood cases. But then they're like, well, we want to do alternative wording. So they'll give you like 10. They're like, we're gonna mix it up 10 ways to target different audiences. So it uses different phrasing, and then it reintroduced the word market to like half of them, and then it got caught again. So I was like, you sons of guns. Like, I just want to give you my money every day. So next week we'll have plenty of advertising going. We're gonna be popping off in here. It's gonna be crazy. So.
And speaking of lost advertising, I was actually really excited to maybe get a chance to, watch this weekend. But it turns out that SCG doesn't even stream. And the one person that usually would stream stuff, they don't share internet with him, so he stopped doing SCG events altogether. And that's just horrible.
Star City Games used to do streams. I thought they. I mean, yeah, because I think they kind of revolutionized like the whole streaming setup, like the layouts and like OBS, whatever they're using. Because I remember watching really early on streamed Flesh and Blood events, and it was less than optimal. We'll keep it as that nicely. But like the first few SCG events, that's when they started bringing up the cards like on the side of the screen or in the middle. I think they did when they were talking about them so that everyone can read them. So, see what the cards are. During some people's 10-minute turns. For luck. But the SCG really did a lot of good work with that, and I think everyone kind of copied it, and it's really a big shame to see that they're not streaming it anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know what the reasoning is behind it, but it sucks because I was honestly just like, well, I don't have a whole lot going on this weekend. I'll have that on in the background, and it's like, nope, actually, no, you won't. I guess I've been spoiled.
Maybe they just don't do Fab. They did Magic the Gathering last week.
Oh yeah, no, I know that it is. They just dropped Fab streaming.
That's disappointing. I mean, I guess they don't get the numbers, right? Like, I mean, these Magic the Gathering streams are like 50, 60,000 people. So that ad revenue's got to be pretty good for the production costs. But like, and the Fab, even on the official Fab, I don't know if I've seen it go up past 12, but it usually sits around like 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah, they get decent numbers, but it's really hard to compete with, 30 years of ingrained player base. There's like literal could be grandparents getting ready to play with their grandkids at this point.
Yeah, and it's a shame because Charlotte is the event I think we've been kind of looking forward to, right? This is the first big event post Viz banning, and Well,
Yeah, I mean, there's
about
been
yeah.
there's been like a week of RTNs, but I don't think that's necessarily everything. I like seeing the snapshot of somebody trying to win a battle hardened or a pro quest. It's like, what do you take to an open field that you need to win 8 rounds at least, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, like the week after a big event, even like releases, right? The week after a release, the week after a banning, you don't necessarily know where the meta's at, right? That's when the meta's shaking out, and this 2 weeks later is when we will see it settled. So it is kind of disappointing to see that, but I don't know. More and more events are getting brought in every single year. Um, Though I would say I remember there's a lot of people kind of upset. Did you see the changes they made to like the prize pooling for like the was it the 32 and under events?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Yeah, they cut well. So the prize pool this year is the same size as last year, but they've got like double the events. So
Okay.
they ended up like ripping out a lot of the money from the 32 and under people events, right? Because there's like tiering where like if you have more than 32 people or 64 or like 100 or something, they get different levels of prize support, and like the 32 and under just got gouged out. Like it's I think like a third of what it was getting before, so it was
Well,
kind of sad. But
so you're saying that it's like there's no more cash prize at the top for 32 and under,
no, it's just
basically,
like
or it's just less?
well, yeah, I think it went from it was like I don't
I mean,
want
that's
no.
honestly not a lot of people, you know?
Oh yeah, but I think it went from like $600 for first to like $200 or something like that. It was
Well, I mean, I do kind of
yeah.
hate to say it, but with the growing community, like it, yeah, I think it's actually kind of nice because I would rather them like, okay, if it's less than 32 people, that's not a huge fab hotbed area. For $600, you know, Joe the pro from 2.5 hours away might try to come and spike it for 200. Hopefully you won't.
Yeah, but I mean, I think these smaller ones a lot of the time. I mean, even if they're a hotbed, they might be the new up and coming areas. So I think like foster the growth, having that extra prize money there can bring people from farther away, and
Well, I think
maybe
that we've
expand it
already
more.
kind of had that situation. I actually think that that's part of like why the game is growing because there were people and still are people obviously that travel and play a lot, but them bringing in the gem packs and you know they are making moves that I think is trying to encourage like less cutthroat play slightly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's times and places for it. Like an armory event, you
Yeah,
don't want to see cutthroat, but like
I
in
don't
pro circuit,
begrudge
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
begrudge anyone to go and like if you want to win because I'm not saying that if you're a certain level of player that you just shouldn't go and play. It's just like if they make it not super worth your time, it's like if you live 2.5 hours away, is $200 gonna do much more than cover your gas and dinner? So why bother?
Yeah, and then and honestly, I think in my head, most of your money you're actually winning from these events is the gold foils,
Oh, for
realistically, right?
sure.
So like the less cash sucks because it's immediate money versus like trying to have to sell it or something like that. But or getting taken to through like the ringer from like a someone there at the event who's just a merchant or something trying to pick up some cheap cards. But
Man, thinking about
yeah.
merchants picking up cheap cards, I remember going to like it was RTNs or something like back whenever I was still able to play chain, and I remember the rainbow foil EA tunic was on the line, and I think somebody bought it that day on site for like $3,000, and that card is just worth way more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not big enough of an issue that there was a little bit of outcry for the first couple of weeks, but it's kind of quiet it down. I think I meant to bring it up when it was more in the news and everyone was mad about it, but I just thought of it now. So yeah, we'll see. I'm really hoping, because they're expanding new countries. I think we'll probably see in 2026. My big prediction is we're going to see more South America countries coming into the fold of things, as they've been introducing more distribution and stuff into like Latin America area. So, and a lot of that's just coming from Florida, but I think they're going to be opening more up because I mean Brazil's got to be the next big one, right? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen um, some people talking about the Brazilian scene. Like, I mean, after X got banned, some of them went on to Reddit, and I think that that's how they got funneled into the Flesh and Blood community because they just saw it because they were browsing Reddit. Who knows? Uh, but yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Brazil's pretty based. I love that they totally co-opted Flork's sock puppets and put him everywhere too.
yeah, and honestly, like I just think back to the last Worlds, and Brazil just got a whole bunch of local pro members together. They all flew over together. They're got a very tight knit community. So I'm all about Brazil, and
You know what's
that,
hilarious?
but
Liv and I have been watching BattleBots, and there's a couple of Brazilian teams that like the one season we were watching is the finale was just two Brazilian teams. It was
yeah,
Minotaur and
yeah,
the other
Minotaur,
one,
yeah.
and it was just like Brazilians go out and win at so much competitive stuff. I mean, look at Menardi in the Street Fighter 6 situation too. He's won on like two or three different characters at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I find that fascinating. I'm also, I mean, I love BattleBots. Like, I mean, I grew up with BattleBots. I had on the old big thick brick of a Game Boy, they had a BattleBots game where you could customize your own little bot, and I remember playing that all the time. And
Dang.
now I've got a friend who works for, I call it the Farm League for BattleBots. He gets to work with the actual teams because a lot of those BattleBot tournaments, they're like, oh, they win 10,000, but what the bigger prize is, they actually end up also getting like 100,000 to like usually like a local like STEM initiative or nonprofit or something like that. So my buddy works with one of those nonprofits. So there's like three local BattleBots teams from like the Pittsburgh area that he gets to work with all the time. They come in, they run tournaments for like high school and stuff like that. So uh, I don't know. I love BattleBots, but that's not what we're here for. But I don't know. It's real cool. I like to learn about it. I learn about those people. But yeah, Minotaur. I knew immediately who you're talking about. I love the early seasons of the revival. Need to get back and watch some more of it.
Well, I mean, BattleBots is much like Fab in the competitive sense. I mean, those people are very serious, and so are the pros in Fab.
Yeah, and yeah. I was really surprised at how big like the community stuff was because they don't talk about it on the show ever. Like they're like a lot of like the hidden prize support. So it's cool. I
Yeah,
like
the
I like when people give back to their local communities and make the next generation, right? Like we're always trying to get the next generation of Fab players or whatever coming up. So
It would be pretty awesome to get some BattleBots references in like some mechanologist cards. I could see them like repping Endgame somehow.
yeah, I don't know. I love Tombstone. Tombstone was always my favorite of the new school. Um, though I think he retired after a couple seasons, but it was just an OP bot. It was disgusting. So
I think so far, if we're gonna be off topic, my favorite one is oh dang, the ice one. I forget the one that's like it's like a friggin' lawnmower engine. I can't remember
oh
its name. Ice
yeah,
Wave.
Ice Wave. Yep.
I don't know how good that bot actually is overall, but the one time it just like literally chopped one in half, and I just thought that was amazing.
speaking of ice, you know what I got in the mail this week?
Enough cards just in time for the Icelander ban in Commoner.
No, big old glare. You can't see this card. I will not allow. Let me see if I can turn that off. Nope, still kind of a.
That's how exclusive it is. That's the exclusivity shield because it is the 1 of 1 yellow icequake, right?
Yes, this is an SOC, which is the special. Was it special one cards? Special1cards.com. Special One Cards is a grading service where they will only grade one perfect idealized version of that card. So it's 10 everything. It's perfection, right? So 1 of 1. This is the only one that they'll ever grade of this yellow icequake. I really can't believe I'm just standing in the perception of perfection. Like, it's so ridiculous. I love it though. I've got 3 more coming. So I mean, I'm really nailing the market. You know, I don't think I've seen it anywhere outside of this one store. They mostly do sports cards. Fab is kind of like a new thing for SOC. But you know, I'm always dunking on how awful was it PCG is. Garbage grading. Yeah, Rudy's grading system. Garbage. Hate him. Awful. Love Rudy. Awful garbage grading system. Sorry, Fab. I know you're in bed with them pretty deep, but
I mean, it's not even Rudy's grading system. I'm, you know, it's I don't know who owns it. I think it's Matt Rogers, but
well, he only owns 30%. Rudy owns 60% or 69%, I think, technically. So
yeah, but isn't that more of like a financial thing that happened?
Well,
I guess.
Yeah,
well,
but,
I suppose
I mean,
he's doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Rudy's always down there because they have the big. I mean, he bought it. I think mostly to get more like business intelligence and like check the markets and everything. Because he talks about going down to like the warehouse and like the guys rating it and everything. So at least that for the American one, but. I mean, he is. I think technically, I mean, the majority owner of.
He's vertically integrating, so that no matter what level of collectability you're at, you have to interface with Rudy.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got his hairy arms in the pie.
Oh man, it's funny seeing who's grading what cards with them, but all I can think back to is that crimped, like what was it, like 9 out of 10 card that they graded, and I was like, how do you grade a defected card at 9 out of 10? Ridiculous. I don't know. They've got a long history of being sketchy as hell. I know Rudy wanted to turn that around. I don't think he's really helping it much at this point, but I'm now all in on SOC. As probably
you cannot even. Oh my god! It's you know what you need to do is you need to get a full set. I wonder how much they would try to scam somebody for like a cold foil legendary of that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I just gotta start mailing them cards. I think I'm just gonna have to. I'll send like 10 of every card in the hunted, right? And then we'll see if one of them's perfect. And
I mean, it just even for a meme, it's mental illness.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. But I thought, I paid big money for this one. You know, I think before shipping, it was $9. So
I literally only think it's acceptable because we're talking about it for content.
Oh, that's the only reason I bought it. I mean, realistically, I was like, this will be hilarious to talk about on stream, and then I bought it. And then this is the one that got lost in the mail. I think did I talk about that last week? How it got lost?
It ended up going to an entirely different state, like Massachusetts or something.
Yep. Oh, ew. The card just shook inside the carrier. The cards shouldn't be moving.
Oh, why not?
What? Do your graded cards?
Oh, I hear it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, ooh, that's not what I want. Oh, I mean, what if
You're
this
about to
is
shake it down to a 9.
right? Which means I think they send the Pinkerton to come in and take it and destroy it since it's no longer a 10 out of 10. It's
Yeah, they got to do another one.
oh
That's absurd.
jeez. Yeah, but I felt bad for the guy. He messaged me. I messaged him back because I was like, "Well, this one was supposed to be gone." Post office said it's out of the picture. The guy they called to come pick it up from the post office has it now forever. So they offered to send me 2 more. I got those 2 more coming, and then this one showed up, and I was like, "Well, I feel bad paying $9 for 3 of these masterpiece perfect cards," and so I sent him some more money. I sent him some money for the other 2 cards coming, just because I felt bad. I was like, I mean,
Wow.
I could have. I mean, he would have never known, but I don't know. I feel bad, right? So,
I mean, he sold you garbage.
I mean, he didn't shove it down my throat. I went out of my way to get this garbage, so.
Okay, all right. I still find it super strange. I can't believe somebody actually has like the balls to just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way." I guess that's like what people like about businessmen, right? They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you have the gall to do it," and then it pays off. But then you don't, it's like box openings. You only hear about the good ones. Or I
Yeah,
should say
well,
successful ones. I don't want to use the word good necessarily.
oh, I don't know. You see enough of mine box openings. There, ooh, those ones aren't ending up on Reddit. That's for sure. Certain. That's,
Yeah. Uh I don't know how it's possible that like most of the boxes you open are horrible, and then as soon as it's like, oh, like I sent you my cases and my case was fire. The
yeah.
box that we were gonna open together on stream before all the crap happened to my cars, that there was a freaking Arknight shard in there. I would not be
Right?
surprised if I would have actually been there that weekend. That probably would have been in one of my packs or one of Liv's packs.
Probably would have gotten 2. I don't know. It's you bend fate around you. I don't like it. It's unfair.
Well, I did hear that there is apparently a supercomputer that does quantum computing that just proved that multiple universes exist. Not literally,
Ooh.
but
Oh yeah.
but that is the business speak that they are trying to adopt. They're like, "Well, we didn't say that it proves it, but it does lead credence to
Yeah.
it."
I don't know. Those quantum computers, people don't want to. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Okay, never mind. I have a big quantum computing rant, but I'm not getting onto it. We've got so much to talk about this week. We got the end of RTN. We've got banned and restricted cars. We got the High Seas World Premiere announced. We got Pro Tour coming up next week, I think. An EV and I mean, though I just can't help talk about this ice quake right here. I mean, a yellow ice quake. You just don't see those every day. It's
That's because it's horrible. And is it unlimited or is it first edition? In
oh, it's
fact,
first. Yeah, yeah, obviously.
well, you
Come
know
on.
what the funny thing is? Like, fuck the first edition. You got to be rocking that Tails Unlimited. That's only like a 76,000 print run.
No, that's true. It's
200.
got what was the other? Oh, it's like got that. Yeah, that Crucible rarity, right? Like, isn't Crucible Unlimited like way less than Crucible as well?
Yeah, they're both Crucible and Crucible, and like the Crucible first edition is like 35 or 33,000, and then like Crucible Unlimited, I don't know, it's probably like 30 to 60,000. I wouldn't expect it to be more than that, but I don't feel like opening up the collector's center. I look at the collector's center too often as it is.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to my life. I love the Collector Center. I wish it was updated better and the website wasn't garbage and they had real web developers. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I
other
really dislike the way that they implement tables, that the way that they scroll. I don't know. I can't
yeah.
even. I'm not a web developer, so I can barely describe why I don't like it.
I don't know. I think yeah, well, it's just UI UX. No, everyone. I think everyone cut their UI UX teams to save money, and then no, everyone's just mad about how awful every app and website is. So, oh man, I don't know. But I just think like when it comes to grading cards, right? I wouldn't grade a card worth less than $100 because it usually costs like $25 to $30 to grade the card.
Right.
So you have to make the value of the card at least double, really, to even make it worth it. So why would I pay $25 to grade a 10-cent card and then sell it for $9? I, I don't know. I love it. That's why I have it. It's perfection. I don't know. I do think
It
I'm getting
is.
ready to send a load off. I got 2 cases coming this week. Actually, yeah, 2 cases in one box. Um, on first. Actually, do you want to go? You want to do EVs, or do we want to do news?
Well, we could talk about EVs if you want to get into it so soon.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking. It's a good way to segue into it because
You just can't help yourself.
I
You
can't.
you tell me you
It's
tell
not
me
even
that
on
it's not.
purpose. It's
Yeah, you're like it's not
oh.
me. Fab is doing it, but I mean you're doing it.
I don't even. Okay, this just popped up. I didn't even plan this. I don't even. I apparently I just turned on everything. I turned everything visible. Perfect. Okay. Well, this ruins a lot of surprises, but yeah, I
Word.
did EVs. Yeah. So, uh, EV crew first. Crew first is well, the TCG low. I'll go ahead and say this again. I say it every time. The crew first, arc first, welcome wrath first. Pricings for TCG lows are just so all over the place. You have to like check eBay, so don't give that too much credence here. But the new lowest price on TCG was $2,000. So that's why that EV changed from green to red. But the big one I wanted to highlight was Mon First. Mon First is free tendies, guys. Free tendies, not financial advice. Not free money, free tendies. Okay. It's up every month. The EV of Mon First goes up, and the value or the amount people are selling the cases for goes down. It doesn't make sense. So I bought 2 cases. Uh,
I honestly think that people look at the print run and they act like Monarch is the most overprinted. And I honestly, this is my true feelings on this. I don't care that Monarch First and Monarch Unlimited together is a bigger print run than Tails First and Tails Unlimited together. Tails to me is the overprinted set because they made Tails First 208,000 boxes and they made Monarch First 125,000 boxes. The Unlimited run of Monarch First is the one where they went totally off the rails. I still think that there's like a completely reasonable number of cold foils for Monarch. I don't think that that market is too saturated at all.
yeah, and with Mon 3 coming up after High Seas, like I think we're gonna see some light and shadow cards becoming relevant again real quick. Same way we saw, Hunted have a very drastic effect on like Uprising and Dynasty, though maybe you don't see that. Well, that's what people say. I will say that. I hear a lot of hype, right? You hear a lot of people being like, the Hunted sold so well, it's doing great, it's flying off the shelves. But if you look at how many sold, half of what Rosetta sold. That's kind of weird. Then, they're like, oh, Dynasty's through the roof. Everyone buy Dynasty. And I'll be honest, I mean, EV went up $50. TCG low is well over double the money you would ever make from it, and it hasn't been out long enough to divorce the price. The pricing of sealed is just ridiculous. Uh, don't buy it. I don't know. You're a crazy person, I think, if you buy Dynasty at this point.
Yeah, I bought a lot of Dynasty when it came out because that was the assassin class. That was the first time Assassin ever came out. If you wanted to play Assassin, you had to buy those boxes. Or, buy the singles, obviously. Um, but I don't really regret it. I mean, Yellow Shred is $6 now.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's like a handful of things that could probably go crazy if we get the right support, but there's so many awful cards in Dynasty that would need like direct hand holding printed support probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to just look at some other trending. I mean,
Heavy
I
is
was
is pretty awesome to me because I think people are getting very stoked on Guardian. I can't wait for Guardian to be like actually playable in the meta again.
yeah, but even then, like EV's staying pretty much the same. The low prices stay the same. Bright lights staying about the same. Um, well, EV is actually dropping out. It's starting to actually meet TCG low. The three biggest booms I think we see right are Uprising Dynasty and Outsiders, but their EVs aren't changing much. So I kind of question um, why these boxes are going up. It's not because the value in the cases are more. And I mean, they do have lower print runs. All right. Well, I think this is when they started plateauing the print runs. But I think this may be more content creator driven than fact driven. Is my nice way to say this one. So we'll
You
see.
think Rudy spiked it just by by hyping it up?
I mean, do I think that the same hour that he posted a video about everyone needing to buy Dynasty and then they all sold out and now they're $625, even though nothing in the singles would ever make that worth it? You know, I might blame Rudy for that a little. I think a lot of people might have made some bad fiscal decisions based on that, but much like us, this isn't financial advice. Maybe don't always listen to what Rudy says, but
Well, I mean, what I see here is a $625 box that you can open up a $1,600 card in, though.
what's in what? Oh, well,
Fabled CNC.
yeah. Wait, is it up that high already? Or again?
I don't know. It
I
sells
don't
for
think
at
it's
least
that much.
1,000, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, but not a very good chance of it. Yeah, I mean, but this is some real
I
big
know, but
gambling.
that's big gambling, though.
I mean, but if you're gonna gamble like that, then you got Dust to Dawn, right? Like your 10, was it 10 chains, 10 prisms, serialized
Yeah,
cards.
there's not enough of those.
So
Yeah, no, you're right. It looks like the highest that's sold recently is like $969. So
yeah, but I don't
I
know.
wonder if there's any further back, but we'll
I will
see.
see it. Hunt is finally dropping down. The gem packs are not on here, but I've been watching the gem packs like a hawk because I've been picking up a couple. I don't know if anyone watched the mail call this week. I got a bunch of gem pack cards in. I've been picking up cards under $1 already. So, and honestly, that I still can't. That was the Imperial Decree and foil is probably one of the nicest foils I've seen in a while. So
Yeah, it did look
I
pretty
really
good
like it.
even on camera.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. This is it. This is the monthly. I should have done this last week, but the hunted really messed with me. So,
I think probably my favorite part about this is how well Evo is doing. Because I mean, I think that means that number one, Tunic is as healthy as ever. Because I think that you put a Tunic in a box and it's like that's gonna carry a lot of value. Like WTR is at 274, and I would say a lot of that is probably that rainbow foil tunic. And then down here with 290, whenever you've actually got the chance at like some pretty awesome M's. The M's in WTR are questionable to okay. They're just
yeah, and that's
not
kind of
they don't cost that much because nobody really plays the heroes that use them.
yeah. I should have done some more historical data. Now that I think about it, on the ratios, because that's something I track when I do the EV sheets. Is what percent of the value is coming from the majestic slots, the legendary slots, or what have you. And I do think like I'm a bigger fan of opening cases where most of the value is coming from the majestic slots, just because you're gonna get more of them. So you're not gonna have the crazy spikes. You're not gonna get like those huge dopamine hits of like all your money's coming from like one card, but also you're not having that financial fallout of, you know, my box openings where it's like, oh, you've got 5 of the same Majestic that's worth 50 cents. So, which was fantastic. I mean, they all sold.
You just
Don't get me
you
wrong,
just
but
gotta
it's
buy the clump that has, the felling clump and not the,
dissolve reality
whatever
clump.
else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, these are bad cards. I don't even know their names. It was like I keep thinking of cards that cost money.
Yeah, which is funny. Like, I only know the cards that are awful because those are the ones I target, and then you only know the good ones because you play them. So our overlap. I mean, together we're the perfect card
Yeah, I was gonna
catalog.
say we sound like the beginning to a stupid riddle.
Yeah. All right, but that's it for this. Let's get rid of Excel. Where you is, Excel? There you are. All right. I forgot we had wide boy. I think I fixed my ratio on
Well,
this
do you
one at
think
some point.
did Rudy say anything about Rosetta? Do you think Rosetta is hyped? Do you think that's
Um,
hyped?
I haven't had a good catch up. I'm real bad about watching Rudy videos where I'll wait a couple weeks and then I'll watch like I'll just make a playlist of them while I'm like sorting cards, and then
Because
I'll
I
watch
think
them.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the way that Hunted, like, so here's my issue. Do I kind of believe that Rudy did it? Yeah, right. But I also don't necessarily think he did it just because. I think he did it because, he thinks that what he's seeing that makes sense, right?
Yeah, because he in reality, I mean, he's just watching throughput of boxes, right? Like how much is left, how frequently are people buying them, and then like, oh, that's selling well. That must be popping off. But he's not doing like the EV comparison,
And
not like how much money are people actually able to make from these or
right, but what I want to point out here is that I don't necessarily think that the only reason that Dynasty spikes so hard is because of Rudy, because I think Rudy, like, flicked the domino, right? Not, it's they were already set up and ready to go, is what I mean. Just by the way that the market already was. Because unless Rudy went and hyped even more sets, then I mean, why did Rosetta dry up? Because that one is another one that, like, $450, is that the one? Is that what it said was the actual price of the TCG low? That's really
um
high.
but Rosetta never dropped below 420, I don't think. Rosetta's always sold pretty crazy.
Right,
So
but then it's gonna keep going up. I mean,
I
I
think a
I
lot of people opened a lot of Rosetta. I mean, I opened what 12 cases of it. Like, it was a very fun set to open. All the
and it also
heroes were great.
I,
Like,
I also kind of think that people were like the people who could open it were opening it at a better, like, value because people were still kind of turned off from Mistvale. So I think
yeah,
that
and the hunted. I don't know. Like I said, like the sales just aren't there. I mean, they're okay. They're not bad. I'm not gonna say they're bad, right? Because they aren't. But they're not at Rosetta levels or really even Mistvale levels. Um, Even though the boxes are more, but the boxes are more expensive. But I mean, the MSRP was so like there's a map limit you can't go below, right? I don't think I think for a map right now for hunted is $100, so you won't even see a case below 400. Whereas I think realistically it probably would be if it wasn't being held up by map. So
well, that's just a question of,
uh,
like, how many boxes are actually rolling around.
yeah, and sales. I mean, we hit blinging in real quick, and you know what? Sales have definitely dipped a lot already. I think, like at
Yeah,
least
I
from
did
what I'm
some
seeing,
people
yeah.
I saw some people in Purple Discord. Somebody was trying to sell, like, I think, yeah, they were gonna sell Shelter for like 65. and seeing Shelter dip below 70 for the regular one has me just about ready to buy my rainbow foil playset. I'm not gonna get the EAs, but I do want to have, because I already have a playset of the regular ones, and I pulled one rainbow foil one, so I'm just gonna get 2 more rainbow foils to finish that set. Mostly because I know they're not gonna reprint the rainbow foil, and I don't need to have the max rarity. I just would like to have a collector playset, since those will hopefully appreciate as well.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's fine. And I think, they talk about hype cycles. Hunted, I think, had a very huge hype cycle running into it. And I think a lot of that was driven by Rosetta. I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know if
Rosetta
it,
was awesome. I loved it. I
yeah.
think a lot of, I mean, obviously a lot of people did, but they said that in their dev talk that they were like, we weren't really expecting people to have a hype cycle around Hunted, and it's just kind of crazy to me with like, I don't know, how can you release an assassin like Arachne Marionette? And I mean, I didn't end up playing Arachne Marionette. I don't necessarily like the play style of Marionette too much, but I was still totally engrossed by the art. I was hyped as hell for that. It looked cool. I don't I and then Fang and Syndra are also really great heroes. I mean, they kind of knocked it out of the park with Hunted, and I think they did with Rosetta as well. I mean, as much as Rudy is definitely pumping them, I think Rudy generally pumps things that he sees like promise in. Like as soon as MetaZoo went in the shitter, he let everybody know it was in the shitter, right? But
Yeah.
I thought that MetaZoo looked promising too. There's lots of things that can look promising. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. Oop. Oh my gosh. I don't know why is this so big? Why is this not getting smaller? Okay. So yeah, because we were talking about like how well the heroes and all did. I kind of want to bring up because week 4 of Road to Nationals ended, and I think a lot of people expected a lot out of all the heroes, and we didn't necessarily see it. I honestly, Syndra is the one I thought would be totally cracked and like ridiculous compared to like more like Launch Zen, which it didn't really end up. It ended up, well, I mean, as you hear, about the same as Zen. So it's a little disappointing. And then yeah, Arachne Marionette's like down there. Though this is the first week of Road to Nationals, the Fang is even on the board. Poor Fang.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
He had a
right?
couple. He had a couple of like one or twos a couple of weeks before. This is his first week
More the
the top
one.
half.
Oh, was he?
Well,
I
they
didn't
put they
even think he
put
had a
ones
one.
and twos. They put ones and twos in the other heroes. This is his first time outside of the other heroes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other heroes counts all those ones, but yeah, I didn't think he even. I mean, I'm gonna have them all. I'll go back and check, but or well, I guess we'll be able to tell in the next one. But yeah, not a great showing by Fang. Now, everyone's like, "Oh, we finally solved them," and then like nothing ever
I mean,
happens.
if you're
So
gonna go and win with him, I think it's solved. I mean, it's I don't know. There's always going to be A, B, C tier decks, S tier, how whatever way you want to start. I think, I mean, it's still crazy how many decks can win. Like the fact that it's not just like the 4 decks at most. Like how diverse do card games usually get? Because to me, I see a fair number of here like and I don't even count out any of the ones that get 1 or 2. Those ones and twos are people that pilot that deck and went and played it and were able to win, and you can't discount that.
yeah, I did really think you were really championing slip through the cracks. Did you actually make a slip through the crack deck?
No, I didn't end up making slip through the cracks deck, mostly because I just didn't I prefer the mark mechanics with fealty to the mark mechanics for disruption. Mostly because I'm kind of a combo player at heart, and Fang, once you have 3 fealties and your weapons are free, is disgusting.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna go back to, we talk about um, you know, Dev Talk 9 all the way back then, and they were like, oh, we want all of our new heroes to hit like top eights and winning and all that. I still don't think that's necessarily what you want. I think personally that's the sign of a bad meta. If your three new heroes are like 1, 2, 3, or like immediately to the top, I think this approach with this set where like they're kind of scattered. I mean, obviously you've got like one kind of standout with Syndra,
I
but
actually kind of feel like the way that they manage their power creep, that like I think what they're aiming for is to never do what they did with Arachne again. Because there were I'm one of them. There were plenty of people that like bought into Dynasty hard, and there's nothing good in that. Like you're gambling for the CNC or the Emperor or maybe the Marvel Crown, okay? There's like or rainbow foil surgical extraction is pretty ridiculous because they accidentally short printed it, so that's an awesome hit in that box as well. But those are very specific things. Otherwise, aside from like Shred, which is a rare, many of those assassin cards just don't see the light of day at all because contract is bad. And I think when they released Arachne, and Arachne was just like really, I don't want to say totally unplayable, but I took Arachne to a decent sized tournament and just was like, okay, I'm gonna fatigue people. I play fast, it's fine. I got to fatiguing a Fi, and just on my own inexperience, I didn't realize that Arachne was so bad that once you get them totally fatigued, you had to save a surgical extraction so that you could force the last card out of their hand. Otherwise, they can save a blue to their last card and just literally outdamage you because, like, a Fi's weapon deals 3 and your 2 daggers deal 2. And so, like, you're the fatigue deck, and you still get killed by the aggro deck even after you successfully fatigued them if you didn't save one of the 3 cards that are like your only good cards in the deck.
yeah.
And I mean, they, I think it's super disappointing to release a hero and then to have like half the people that were playing the hero go, well, this sucks, and just drop it.
Yeah, and I think we kind of missed the mark. Or I mean, I really thought, with Viz going out, we would be seeing more Syndra, more Vincent, which I think we ended up seeing less Syndra even
To
now. So
see
I don't know
more
if she,
Vincent,
but yeah, more Vincent. So Vincent's staying strong. I think
I
we'll
guess I
probably,
guess they moved into Aurora. I mean, they still
yeah.
had their Grasp of the Arknight, although a lot of people don't even play Grasp of the Arknight in their list. I think there's probably plenty of people that just will because they have it. I mean, 2 Battle Worn blocks 3 altogether. I mean, it's not bad, you know?
Yeah, and even in this top, like in this little circle here, we've got a nice blend of um, classes. So that's always good in my book. It's not just fully dominated, but I mean, Runeblade is just always the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, we got
LSS will
Runeblade,
always.
Ninja, Assassin, Illusionist, Runeblade, Wizard, Illusionist, Assassin, Warrior. There were certain classes in there that I said many more times than others.
Yeah, but not as dominant. I mean, we could probably do some ratio. Or hear about this. Why don't we look at all of RTN? We've got a small image. Okay.
The whole thing.
Yeah, so obviously, actually, I really like the editing they do with this right up here, popping off. Uh, but yeah, I mean, this was much closer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, obviously, that last week before Aurora got some serious numbers, but 62 and 60 was pretty darn impressive. Um, and I was happy to see Vincent at 19, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vincent is a legible picture on the like better than Florian, which is not what I would have bet at the beginning of the season.
yeah. I mean, that's we say it week after week. Sometimes it only takes that one card to make it to really turn around a deck. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those expansion slot cards that we're seeing, breathing life into old sets and old heroes.
I'm just
Uh,
happy to have helped you get a W because, like, the way that you fail on case is so bad. I saw Paul and I was like, you can get your W on singles, man. Let's go."
yeah, but I mean, man, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, yeah, Syndra's at 50, but then yeah, Arachne's from this set from the Hunted, only at 26, and then we go all the way down to what is this?
Fang is gonna have like 5. Yeah, he's the
Yes.
second one under other heroes. He's got the same number of wins as Dorinthia Ironsong, which is, to be honest, quite pathetic
Yeah.
because I play Fang and I think he seems stronger than Dorinthia to me. But then again, there's probably just not that many people playing the deck compared to the other ones just because if all you care about is winning and getting, first place at any cost, like it literally doesn't matter to you what deck you play. In fact, it's the only choice you're ever going to make is what has the highest win rate, then sure, that's why you're not playing Fang. But you can still win with him.
Yeah. But you're equally as good with Jarl, which never would have thought Jarl would have hit the same numbers as one of the new heroes. So I'm really hoping that things kind of stay the same though, but I have a sneaking suspicion at 18 months. So I'm probably two, three, 4 sets from now, we're gonna see a bit more power creep in the heroes. I think they'll get a little stronger. I don't know, because I think in my eyes this is a bit of a failure from the design spot for like James and Brian.
Really?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
surprises me that you think that. What is it about this that drives that conclusion?
Oh, just the fact that they want new heroes and new sets to place very high, and these ones just didn't.
I well, wait, you're saying that it's a failure because they want them to place and you're saying these didn't?
No, place higher. Place they want these more in more top eights than like older heroes. You want to see a new set, the new heroes doing well,
I
and
think
really
this
we
is
did.
well. This is just
Is
not
it?
domination.
Yeah, well, that's why when they say they want like all the new heroes in the top eight, I think that's domination. Like in a world where there's
No.
like 20 viable heroes, like seeing 3 or 4 of them in the top eight is domination. Like in my eyes, I don't know. I mean, 'cause that's
Well,
like a
seeing
majority, right?
seeing one or two like each one, not really. No, I mean dominating is whenever you like. It doesn't matter what tournament it is. You look, and it's going to be 3 to 4 of the same hero, like Starvo format. That's domination. I look at this and I think that it's successful because Viserai had just gotten all his power out of Rosetta, and you can tell that Rosetta was a powerful set because Aurora was right there. So as we go back in time, we can see that Zen was at the top, Enigma was at the top, Nu was at the top, Aurora's been at the top now. Uh, if anything, Rosetta was a bit more of a flop because I believe, like, if you look at Syndra, Marionette, and like Fang and even slip through the cracks and add them all together, I think that would probably equal more tops than Aurora, Florian, Acilio, and Verdance. Like, I think it's very similar numbers. Like, I don't think that you want them to be the S tier deck when they come out. I think they want them to be like around the bubble to like able to win. And then as more sets come out, they get more powerful to the point where Viserai is the best deck in the format somehow after being like good and then bad and then good and then bad. just as different cards and metas changed, but now the cards in Rosetta were so powerful that his hero ability was just unmatched. And then you know that the cards from that set were powerful because you see Aurora coming in right behind him. So I think that we'll probably see some Draconic expansion slot cards in the next set.
Yeah, which is I don't know, pretty quick. Pretty quick. Time's been flying.
June.
May? Oh, world premieres in May. So this is when
Oh yeah,
these are dates that matter to me as Mr. Risa. Like this is when I've got to like buck up and get my inventory prepped and ready and get through the ringer on sales. Like I'm excited, and honest, I don't know. I really want merchants. I just want merchants so bad.
I like the
Maybe
colors on this. It's pleasing to my eye.
Yeah, I kind of like the scenes of Taipei through like the portholes too. I think that they did a really good job editing this.
I didn't even notice that. That's cool.
Yeah, very nuanced. We got a couple of Oh, actually, that's what I should have put up. Or did we? I can't remember. Did we talk about the harpoon and
No, we
ranger
didn't.
cards?
I don't think we talked about the leaks. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Did you get the one that had the better text on it?
I don't have it saved. Let me go dig it up real quick. Yeah, so we got a couple leaks. Oh, you can talk about the leaks. Well, I'm digging for these.
So we got a treasure map and we got a an ephemeral harpoon. And this harpoon sounds crazy to me. 0 cost, comes in for 4, piercing 2. So they can't put armor in front of it or it turns into 6. So they've got to have a sink below and a battle worn 2 to like 1 card cover this up. Because if they've got like, you can't just have a block 3 and a block 1 armor. The only way that you'd be able to deal with it is a block 2 armor and a sink below, or just 2 cards. And then sea monster map, your next arrow attack gets +2, which that's on rate for yellow. If you have no cards in your arsenal, you may banish an arrow from your graveyard if you do create an abyssal harpoon in your hand. So this is honestly like just kind of like shitty codex, because you're getting, you have to have something in the graveyard to banish, but you get something back for it. I think this was them trying to say, this is the type of value we want, maybe giving you, do we really want to be able to give you back, red in the ledger? Because I could, if you just codex red in the ledger, that's one thing. They don't want to give them, 3 more cards to get arrows back.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was kind of surprised that they're just Ranger. I guess we've been all kind of wondering what talents would potentially be coming up. I think there's a lot of hope for like a swashbuckler or a pirate themed talent. So it is interesting that both of these are solely Ranger. And the thing that I liked, which I forgot about, I should have brought in a better zoomed in version of it, is, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but this sea monster map is a pretty distinctive shape. And if we look at the world of Wraith, there's really only one place that this could have come from. So let me load up the map here. I want to point this out. And what's weird is I've also not seen this leak anywhere else. Like, you sent it to me, but I haven't seen... I don't think I saw it on the subreddit, though I haven't really been on the subreddit.
It was just people from Purple Discord.
Yeah.
Passing it around.
Let's see. Stream backgrounds. Map of Wrath. Oh, gotta turn it on.
Oh, no, you gotta get rid of the other thing.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to. Can I? Oh, that was too much. I wanted. Oh, whatever. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Nope, wrong one. Oh,
Well,
do
if it's
not.
on the
Oh, well, I'll
screen,
show
can
you.
you just like circle it or something?
I'll try not to cover this up. But I think that this is going to be down here between Mysteria and Volcor. Actually, oh yeah, here I can do. I'm thinking this is the area on the map with like the jagged edges and the inlets and stuff. Because I was looking all around the maps to see if there's really anywhere else it could potentially be, and not really. I mean, a little bit, maybe up a little bit more the coast towards Aria. There's maybe some potential for it, but depending on how accurate these maps are, this little inlet thing here is. I mean, obviously it's not high detailed, but like I think that's the closest we're gonna get to what we're seeing um, on the sea monster map. So,
Yeah, maybe.
so
I mean,
if it's
it
if
kind
it's
of looks
region,
like it.
yeah. So if it's regionalized, like it could be interesting. We could see some Mysteria cards again. I don't know if I'll see more Volcor cards, but because honestly, I think everyone was expecting the the sea area to be up by metrics. So this was interesting. But again, who knows? Who knows? Maybe there was no direction. Maybe they just drew what they thought looked cool on the map, and that's that. But they're so good at like putting things into the card art. Like the art direction is really on point. I think a lot of the times, you get some good lore stuff. So I think this is a bit of a leak. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see once we see in May. But I'm pretty interested with the ramification of this could mean. So, because like where else could it be? I mean, maybe. I mean,
Nah, I
yeah,
don't
like
really think it would be anywhere else. I mean, if it's on that map, that's the one that makes sense.
yeah,
But I mean, the pirates have to come from somewhere, which is the pits, right? Or are the pirates coming from somewhere else and going to the pits? And I mean, we don't know, does the globe, because it's on that one edge. I mean, if the
yeah,
can you circumnavigate this planet to go? Because they might not be that far away if they're just sailing across the sea. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I mean, based on this map, the world is flat. So I
Well,
think no.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, oh, this was the other area I was looking at up here by Aria and Solana. It could potentially be up there as well
yeah.
because it's kind of like jagged and broken up here. But
It did look more like the other one though,
yeah,
because I could see the one on the card being more of a close up where you can see where it's kind of like a
'cause it's got like that little
canal
hook. Yeah.
situation.
Yep. So I don't know. We'll see. It's exciting. I don't know. I like this part of digging into it. You're all like, oh, ephemeral, piercing, blah blah blah, lame stuff. Who plays this game? Gross. Ew. Now the lore. This is exciting. I like looking at the maps. I like digging around. So,
What I want
uh,
to know is what kind of bow shot that harpoon if it's an arrow. Like
oh, it's definitely not an arrow. I mean, there's a chain
it
coming out of the
says
back.
arrow right on it, my man.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I guess technically a harpoon is an arrow. Well, I guess what is it? A scorpion or like a what's another thing like a scorpion? Um,
Arbalest?
Arbalest? Maybe. Yeah, yeah. I think it's Arbalest. But uh, I mean, it looks like there's a chain on it. Like this looks like a boarding, um, a boarding device of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah, or
It's
like a
interesting.
whaler situation.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. Because in my
Dude, it's
head,
nautical themed, and you didn't go to Moby Dick for a split second?
well, no, because how many whales do you see with armor? So why would I need piercing on it? It's
Like, blubber, dude.
maybe it's the blubber, but no, I want whales with like was it frontline plating on them out there floating around. Or wouldn't that be like the final piece of the Arcanite gear is like an Arcanite tail guard? It would be.
That would be absurd. You can only it's the Arcanite ends up being some kind of like merman hero. Merman.
Mermaider. Okay. Yeah. So now this was.
I go back and listen to that pretty
Do you?
often. Yeah.
Yeah. Mermaider's on Beat Saber as well. So I like the.
Well, that's why I liked Florian so much, man. He reminds me of Nathan Explosion so hard, and I love it.
All right. Let me see. Bans. I actually didn't get to read too much on the bans. How are you feeling on the bans and restrictions?
I have mixed feelings on the ban. Get this leak off the screen.
Oh, one sec. Let me fix this for the next time.
Now that you've decided to bring this up on the podcast, and we're never gonna get spoilers.
Right. Okay. Just the next over. Oh nope. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
I'm really bad at this. Where am I at?
How do you work in IT?
I don't know. Wait, where did you go? Where did you go? Why are you so small? What even happened? Okay, one sec. You're hiding in the corner. Why are you hiding in the corner down there? Ridiculous. No, OBS is just a disaster. Don't even get me started.
There must be a better program.
No, this is it. There was actually another one, I think called Slobs. No, it wasn't Slobs. What was it? I don't know. There was like I think it was Unreal. It was Unreal Engine based, and it closed after like 6 months. So.
Well, I don't even know what this thing is, but I have an AMD video card, actually the one that you recommended to me, and like I installed all the software for it, and it's got like our built-in record and stream thing. It's like AMD Adrenalin.
Yeah, that's not for things like that. Like OBS is just so much more advanced. Like the AMD thing is like if you had a really cool moment in your video game, you can like hit a button and then it's always recording, which really eats up your resources. So I never have it enabled. But if you did something really cool, you could hit a button and then it automatically saved the last 30 seconds. So then you can.
It's interesting when you need like a whole that's like something that the Switch and like PlayStation do automatically all the time. I wouldn't expect it to be so resource hungry. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of surprising. But well, I mean the Switch is running on hardware from like 2008. So, saving off those video files really isn't like 30 seconds video files from that isn't as.
It's probably not even like a video file. It's probably like, it's like a Nintendo encoded thing that's like display this pixel.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not as crazy as like a 4K full screen like capture for 30 seconds. That's the thing where it comes in. But hey, I mean, coming up Switch 2, you're gonna have launch PS3 graphics. So that's exciting.
I don't even know if I'll get the next Switch. I mean, the first time I got my Switch was before I had a PC that could actually play video games. And, whenever you're on a budget, Switch is great. You just gotta wait like 6 months for the good Steam games to get ported, which they generally do, but not all the time.
I'm concerned that with how backdated and old the hardware is for the Switch 2, it's gonna be like it's already really hard to backport to Switch, and it's almost always a gross mess. To backport it even, I mean, they made such a minimal graphics improvement that I think it's just not. I just think we're not going to be seeing a lot of games hitting the new Switch, which is a shame. But
It wouldn't. It's not really going to surprise me, mostly because Nintendo is due for a flop.
yeah, but they
That's
still don't flop,
sort of
even
their
with
modus.
yeah. I mean, it could be the Wii U all over again, and they'd still sell 100 million copies of it. So every kid has to have a
Did they
Switch
sell
now.
100 million
Oh, I don't
Wii
know.
U? The Wii
I
U did
was
very bad.
I don't know. Which is crazy because I love the Wii U. I actually
I
that was
was
the
gonna say
last.
I had one. I'm a
Yeah.
Nintendo fanboy. So it's like it sort of hurts me whenever they do dumb shit, but I still end up buying their shit to play Mario and Pokemon. So what are you gonna do?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
they
that's why
still.
they don't upgrade their graphics. They're just like mafioso. Like we have
Yeah.
your Pokemon and we have your Mario brothers. Why don't you just deal with the graphics?
Wait, there's no way that's right. This is saying they only. There's no way they only sold 400,000.
It was
No, no,
bad.
no. Worldwide, 13.56 million Wii U's. Okay,
Worldwide, 13
worldwide. Yep.
13 million worldwide is very bad.
Is it? Let me see. What's the Switch at?
Dude, there's like isn't there more than a billion people on the planet?
There's
How
8
they
million. Yeah.
yeah, 13 million for a worldwide company with a household name. Horrible.
Oh yeah, yeah. Switch sold 150 million.
Thank you.
So yeah. Wow. Yeah, over 10 times. That is pretty crazy. But yeah, and you know what? And the Switch is okay. I don't know. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about it, but it sells a lot. I can say that very earnestly.
It it's about the video games more than the system at this point. They know what they've got.
Yeah, well, that's where they're becoming like patent trolls and stuff these days, and it's kind of
True.
souring a lot of people towards them. I think, but not even. I mean, you know, 10 years ago they could have done it and it not really mattered. But I don't know. I think most of the people buying it nowadays grew up with Nintendo, and then but you still buy it for your kid. I don't know. I don't know. Child pressures can be a big driving force for that stuff, but
I mean, we're both childless adults, so I don't even know. I don't have any clue.
yeah, yeah. But
I don't even
uh,
remember how we got on that conversation.
oh yeah, I can't remember. We were gonna talk
But you were
banned and
segueing.
restricted. Yeah, yeah. Well, you were I think by the time, or I was you're let's see. Ooh, oh, okay. I found another thing I wanted to talk about, but let's talk about banned restricted. I didn't really read it. I mean, I know what Crown of Seeds is unbanned, and that's really
So my friend sent me a text like within 5 minutes of the thing being posted. I get a text message that says, "Dude, Crown of Seeds is unbanned," and my head explodes, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love Crown of Seeds. Let's go!" And then I load up the article, and I go down to CC, and it's like, no changes. And I say, what do you mean no changes? I heard Crown of Seeds was unbanned, and then I scroll to Blitz. Crown of Seeds was unbanned in Blitz.
yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get it. They unbanned Crown of Seeds in time for Terra to be doing Count Your Blessings. Like, pitching 3 to play a Count Your Blessings and activate Crown of Seeds is going to be giving people nightmares within the next couple of months. Whenever skirmish season starts, uh, which I think is it this month or next month? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not gonna be surprised if we see Terra almost LL himself.
really. Hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are riled up about this one. I love Crown of Seeds, but I was hoping to get it in Florian and CC. Because that might put the deck over the edge. But to for them to give it to Terra in Blitz is like I don't know, maybe they just wanted a different Guardian to pretend to like beat Yoji or something. All I know is that if you're gonna go and play skirmish and you're gonna play Guardian, bring your Sledge of Anvilheim or you're gonna have a bad time. You do not even have a chance in the Guardian mirror match if they play Sledge and you don't. Unless they're horrible. But I'm pretty sure if you end up in a Guardian mirror match at a skirmish and you play a Sledge and your opponent doesn't play a Sledge, you probably got it. I think you got it.
I was kind of surprised that Traverse the Universe popped up. Granted, we don't
Traverse
normally...
the Universe is, if we're actually going to talk about game design and like value, like you have to activate Crown of Seeds, I would say 6 times before you get the amount of value that you get out of Traverse the Universe. Because it's blocking 2 and putting a chi into your hand, totally enabling your turn. It is completely ridiculous. So I can kind of understand why they're like, okay, we're gonna ban Traverse and we'll unban Crown, because that basically says to me that Traverse is even more powerful than Crown, and I kind of agree. At least in Blitz, Traverse is definitely more powerful than Crown. In CC, maybe if the game goes on a long time, then we'll say Crown is better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think we spend that much time talking about Blitz outside of, just seeing who's winning and whatnot. But I guess it just wasn't on my radar. And, Traverse the Universe, price-wise, has been in free fall all year. So I guess I didn't think it was a highly played card with how bad... Because normally...
It's very played.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Like Enigma plays it and Zen plays it. They in fact, the only reason New doesn't play it is because Mask of Recurring Nightmares is so dang good. But yeah, no, Traverse the Universe I think is in free fall price wise because Zen, I think everybody was like, oh, Zen's gonna LL himself, and then the price was going down. And then they banned the shit out of Zen, and they're like, okay, well, Zen's not really at it anymore, so the price is going down. Nobody's playing Enigma, so the price is going down. But it's absolutely one of the strongest cards in the format.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the extended art's gorgeous, right? The Olga, the artist on that, does a lot of very beautiful cards. She did all the split cards that I really like the foiling on. So the card art that she does foils so well. So big fan.
Which one did she do? Did she do Shock or Life?
I think like all of them. Let me see.
No,
she did
I'm pretty
Pulsing
sure.
Aether in Life, Thistle Bloom in Life, Rampant Growth in Life, Comet Storm and Shock.
I think that means that she probably did Life and Shock. Because are you just reading a thing that lists like who the artist is, or are you looking at the card?
Oh, I just searched her name, and these are all the cards coming up.
Okay, so if you actually look at the picture of the card, there was going to be an artist on each side, I believe. So it's like one artist that did the Shock, and then the artist that did Rampant Growth, or you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm gonna pull this up on February because I wish you could zoom in on the cards on TCG Player, but you can't.
They don't have very high quality pictures. They'd probably be blurry anyway.
Yeah. Let me see. Maybe I'll bring one up on stream here. Am I? Oh, jeez. Olga. Okay. Oh my gosh. I was like, let me close every other tab, and then I just closed the one I just opened up. Okay, let's try this again. February.
We'll get good at doing this eventually, right?
Yeah, one of these days. Well, it's always the tangents. Like, I'm prepared for the topics we plan to talk about, and then as soon as we we go
Well, I
off
mean,
the.
you're the one trying to say that Olga did rampant growth and pulsing aether and blah blah blah, when I'm pretty sure she probably just did shock and life.
Oh yeah, Mark Poole did Arcane Seeds. Olga did Life, which Life is the best part of that, foiling wise. Olga did Shock on the Burn Up and Shock. Yeah, and obviously Shock and Comet. And oh my gosh, I forgot. Contest the Minefield, Cosmic Awakening. Like those are just epic looking cards.
Contest the Minefield was so funny because it came out right after Icelander got banned. And it's one of those things where it's like Icelander was clearly the hero that was meant to use that.
Alright, alright, we're going back to display.
No pictures. Only
Why?
armpits.
Why? This doesn't even make sense. Okay. Wait, where did our videos go? Why did every video we just came off of this? Oh my gosh.
Actually, no, my video's gigantic. Look, this is my arm.
Oh, that's why.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh my gosh. One of these days.
OBS is insanity.
Yeah, it's never usually this bad. This is crazy.
Oh, it's because you enlarged me for the other thing. I think you need to go and make sure all your scenes are the same size.
They were. I don't know what changed. Something we changed when I think I screwed up the background the one time. But they should all be a standard size. But what doesn't make sense is mine didn't change, but yours did. Like, why?
I don't know. I'm starting to think that this is like some kind of like part of the performance that you're like, it's like, oh, my picture is never gonna be quite right.
Right now, I like the wide Chungus Terra here though. But okay. Oh my gosh, I put in the wrong stupid browser. That's right. My stream browser's Firefox because I never use that IRL. So nothing sketchy can ever show up. Okay.
Except for your targeted ads.
Ooh, yeah, but that's just, I mean, we're playing a feet game here, so there's only so much I can do about that.
Contest the Minefield is really an awesome looking card. It just sucks that it's like it came out right after Icelander was banned, so like nobody has played it.
Thanks, see, look, oh my gosh.
I'm surprised it wasn't like confirm the last 4 of your credit card.
Why again? Okay. Anyways, like Center of the Minefield, Cosmic Awakening, Sonata Galaxia, and yeah, Traverse.
Seeds of Tomorrow.
They had that same style. Yeah, which is weird because Seeds is completely different style than like the rest of these. But like
it's in Sonata style, I think.
Maybe. Like System Reset and Center of the Minefield both actually give me what's the movie? Was it No. Was it Metropolitan?
Transmetropolitan is the comic.
Not the comic. No, yeah, I'm thinking of the really old movie. No, Metropolis. Metropolis? Yeah, I'm thinking. You ever watch
No
Metropolis?
idea. No.
Oh. Let me see. No, that's such a bad picture of it. Why are you like this? Why is everyone against me? It's like this perfect picture of
is it the prequel to Megalopolis?
No. Let's see. When did this come out? This came out in 1927. Can I just copy this picture? Copy image address, Firefox.
Ad blocker.
Yeah, right. No, but I always, maybe not this movie poster in particular, but I like the head, like the big golden flat mask, like.
What is C-3PO doing there?
Yeah, yeah. This is like 50 years before C-3PO, but
I
which is
realize
what's
that.
crazy. Yeah, which is what's crazy to me, right? Like this is the 20s, and this was, but this like big golden mask, and you can see like the little. Well, they're not as big as in was a transcender or whatever, but or traverse. But I don't know. I'm always getting like
That
the
font is
Metropolis
out.
vibes.
That font is like ahead of its time. Where did that come from? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
an
don't know.
all new restoration. That's
Oh,
why.
this one, yeah, yeah, they had
Yeah,
the.
that's definitely not what they would have used in the time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like System Reset gave me very Metropolis vibes.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that. So
I like how they gave her mechanical hair.
yeah,
They
yeah,
sculpted the wave.
yeah. But I think it fits so well because like the 20s, like thematically, it's kind of like well, no, like Streets of New Capenna was. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'm
it's
gonna blank.
steampunk. It's
Well,
like
it's not
a
steampunk.
bunch of
There's a
dummies from the past imagining what the future looks like.
yeah, no, oh my gosh. There's an architecture style I'm trying to think of. Um, it's gonna drive me crazy. Either way, I don't know. Art is it Art Deco?
Talking to the wrong guy.
Oh, yeah, I think it's very Art Deco. But I like that because Metrics has that same style from like the 20s that we see, which is why Metropolis or
They do
yeah,
like to wear a hat in metrics. That
yeah.
is very
I
old
don't know.
school.
Well, I mean, like the buildings and stuff all have like a lot of that same style, Art Deco style. But let me see. Okay, February. You're just gonna make a fool out of me. Oh yeah, so she did Life, she did Shock, and yeah, Shock. Oh, you need to chill out, homie. Uh, you gotta wait another half hour at least. Ooh.
Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
you get to see my cat. Now we get to see your dog. Hi,
Yeah,
Dewey.
probably the only time ever, but I'm babysitting
Just just
puppers.
don't give him back.
I'm tempted. I'm like, ooh, do I really want to drive 2 hours to drop off this dog?
Just lock your doors, put your car somewhere else for a while, and then, whatever they try to contact you, just be like, I moved.
Yeah, yeah. But oh yeah, and that's why. Oh yeah, she also did the Written in the Stars, the new.
That's a good one. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. I think that card might end up seeing play just because it's a block 3 lightning card and it kind of acts like or not Lexi, Aurora's ability. Because I mean, it's a blue, so you could pitch it to use Aurora's ability, or if you had go again and this card's still in your hand, you could just play this and it would be like pitching for an embodiment of lightning token. Um it's it's interesting because it's just like right on the fringe of playability. I think like the fact that it blocks 3 and is blue is amazing, and then it's lightning so that you can reveal it for a fuse, which is also great. So it checks all kinds of boxes, and it has like, you know well, actually, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not read that second thing that says if you've dealt arcane damage this turn, draw a card. So it's basically like create an embodiment and a ponder. So, yeah, no, never mind. I'll pull my foot out of my mouth and just say that's probably going to be in every Aurora deck going forward.
Yeah, I also didn't understand like the. I would say probably within an hour of this card coming out, I just sold so many embodiment of lightning tokens. Like they weren't going to just include one in the deck anyways. Like I don't know. It seemed really weird to me,
Well,
but
maybe they wanted the full-sized one because they traditionally put a whole bunch of those like half
oh, they're
cards
terrible.
in,
Yeah.
and yeah, like there's a lot of smaller than card sized tokens included with armory decks.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Olga's got a style I really really appreciate. And what we started with was this. This EA is gorgeous. It is not 199 on TCG Player. I don't know why it says it is. I think
Well,
the
what
last
happens when you
sold
click on it?
was $70.
Oh, it's just that's the cheapest one that's listed.
Oh, wait. Oh, the EA version sells for 70. The non-EA sells for 200. But not really. The last sold one
No.
is 65. I think the
No, this is a TCG player screw up. Because there is no cold foil traverse the universe that isn't extended art. If your traverse the
oh
universe looks like that, it's rainbow foil.
oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Like if
Oh
you type traverse the universe in the search in the TCG player search, but don't use any of their like don't click on anything, just type traverse the universe and hit enter.
you're really challenging my one-handed typing right now.
And see, now you can see there's the extended art and then there's the regular listing. And if you filter it to cold foil on the regular listing, they didn't remove the cold foil from the rainbow foil listing, even though they really should.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's how you get some accidental buys. But yeah, I don't know, man. $70 for that? That's such a gorgeous card. And
I
it's
mean,
playable?
they're not
Like,
doing anybody any favors by using that art that makes it look like it's rainbow foil because it isn't. It's
yeah.
kind of annoying. They just put that rainbow foil filter on it that like SCG and whatever uses on their cards for their single site.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean they were selling for like 120 and now we're down to some miserable numbers here. Yeah, 70, 70. Oh, it was already down to 55. So I guess actually, if anything, it's recovering,
Yeah.
which is it's weird. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the price just went to the garbage so hard because if you don't like, I mean, the way Mistvale shook out, like new was the reason people were buying the set. So she's like the most expensive marble.
Yeah. I don't
As
see
much
this
as you
one.
were afraid of Hunted becoming the set that emulated Uprising with the different like, oh, the Marvel dragons are similar to the Marvel Arachnes. I think MST might have done it with the Marvel cheese being more like the Marvel dragons. I mean, I know that none of them hit that expensive price point like Tomeltai, but um don't you think that MST's numbers are behaving more like Uprising than Hunted is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might be similar, but I don't know. The cold foils or the Marvels in Haunted are tanking hard. Like they're tanking even faster than Uprising. So
That's all right. I keep picking my
I don't
mains
know.
based on which adult Marvels are the cheapest, so I'm gonna be able to get my Shredder. Which I
Yeah.
just Fang. I really prefer Fang's young hero art to his adult hero art. I feel like all the armor and stuff that they put on him in his adult uh card is just like it's so over the top.
Yeah, sorry. I just Orson's Captain Sass. I don't know. I'm gonna be the Captain of Sass. It's
Orson Captain Sass?
yeah. Yeah. Did
Hmm.
yeah, did regrowth and I mean
The
probably one of
better
yeah.
lightning.
Yeah, that yeah, I was gonna say pretty hands down the best lightning press I think that's come out.
I didn't
So
realize that there was all those different like tableaus in between the lightning bolts. That is a great promo.
yeah, it's oh man, actually that's a card I want to see. What's that selling for these days? Is it not out yet? It's got it. Is it not?
It's probably just not for sale. They probably all got bought.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it was pretty limited.
I don't know. Maybe it didn't come out yet. I'm really not sure.
Because it was supposed to be for one specific event, I think.
Oh, it was only one
Um,
event.
I think so. Yeah. So I mean, we might be hitting that same like the biscuits sink below like levels of rarity.
I get paid next week, and I might be sending some money to the UK because next Friday is whenever people are gonna get their hands on them, and I am gonna try and get a place out of those. I think it's so good. It's honestly the best promo I think that they've put out so far. Like I want those friggin' sink belows. I want to sink my biscuit into some tea and put that card on the bottom.
Yeah. I need to look into this. I don't know. I really want to know what this art style is called. I really like it a lot. I mean, it really just feels like very 1920s. Like that's why I think of that movie. I think of like uh Doctor Strangelove, like that kind of like that vibe.
We got to watch
Uh,
Brazil sometime after you finally watch Severance.
Ooh, yeah. I just finished season 3 of Blacklist. I'm working through season 4, though. Gotta tell you, dumpster fire of a season. Really hating it so far. Might drop the series, but there's still 6 more seasons, so it has to pick back up. They wouldn't have let a bad show run 10 seasons without it, but
I
uh,
mean, it was on like CBS or some shit, wasn't it? Like, of course
yeah,
they would.
yeah. But then I gotta watch Shorzy season 4, and then maybe I'll watch Severance. We'll see.
How do you even still watch Letterkenny?
I
By the
love
time
Letterkenny.
I loved it when it came out, and then by the time I think it was like their second season on Hulu or something, like season 6 or season 7, where they had all just like crawled inside their own character's asshole and they were just like flanderized themselves. Like I really enjoyed the show when it started, but I feel like it went like I don't know. It's like they ran out of ideas and then just decided to make
There's
all their characters caricatures.
Yeah, oh, I don't know. I think they've just always been caricatures, and that's kind of what like the show was based off of. Is they were making like small town caricatures. But I really like because I started watching Letterkenny like years before it hit the U.S. because it's Canada only for like the first 5 or 6 seasons, and I had it pirated and I was just downloading or like and I would just watch the seasons over and over and over again. Like I've seen season 1 probably like a dozen times. Uh, I've rewatched almost all of Letterkenny. Well, I shouldn't. Yeah, maybe all but the last season or two. I've rewatched probably 3 or 4 times. So I'm a big fan of Shorzy, and yeah, Shorzy's kind of like them growing up a bit, which is also pretty cool. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's not them, but I do love Letterkenny. But
And you also like sushis and sashimis.
I say sushis and sashimis all the times, and we appreciates that. That's what I appreciates about you. That's why I say that a lot on this podcast, and it's because of Letterkenny. And what I appreciates about you, it's uh, I like it a lot. But okay, let me turn
It
this
does
off.
really hurt my soul that you would rather watch the Blacklist than Severance.
Yeah, well, I also don't have to pay attention to the blacklist because it's just like a procedural on CBS, and I can sort cards and look at the cards, just kind of like listen and kind of like tune in and out. Whereas something like Severance, I probably want to actually pay attention to, which is
Yeah,
now a
it's the kind
detriment
of
for a TV
show.
show.
Well, it's the kind of show where it's like, you'll watch it pan and like if you pay attention, you could see stuff in the back and like was watching the new episode earlier today, and there's this one song in the show that one of the characters sang earlier, and then like as they're doing this shot panning across with the car driving, you can hear a piano like play the melody one note at a time, and like there's just little touches of everything that you can like the more you pay attention to. I love the show so much. I I'm like the kind of person that bought like the Breaking Bad Blu-ray set because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go rewatch Breaking Bad. It's a great show. I was totally crushed by Game of Thrones. I was crushed by uh what is it, Lost.
Oh,
But
Westworld, man. Westworld season one, I watched like 5 times. Westworld season one, like, redefined in my head what good TV was. I actually stopped watching a ton of TV shows because of it. I was like, wait, TV can be like this cinematic, this good. Like, TV shows can have this level of quality. And then season three well, season two was kind of like a letdown, and then season three and four were just
yeah, man, I went
worse.
back to try and watch it because I was like you. The first season of Westworld's real tight butthole,
Hmm.
but I don't. I I think when I really thought it went off the rails is whenever like she finally escaped into the real world, which I think might have been in the fourth season.
Third, third. That was where it
Oh,
started to fall apart. Yeah, yeah, and they like changed. They changed the whole style, like of like the filming and the video and everything. It was like basically a complete. They should have just done a spin-off. They shouldn't have made it the same show. It was bad.
I feel like they could have made that good, like that. That is what they were fighting towards, right? They were trying to get out and be real people, right? But
Yeah.
it, I don't know what happened. I didn't particularly like it, and the showrunner, one of the showrunners for this show, apparently, my buddy Pete told me about this, that they were interviewed, and they basically said like Lost was one of my favorite television shows, but I hated how it ended. I don't like the idea of doing all these crazy references that you think might lead to something and then not actually have them pay off. So like they're acutely aware that all the weird shit they show has to eventually pay off, and they have already said that they, you know, I think it's real easy to be critical of a show that is going to have as many twists as Severance as you watch it, and you just think to yourself like, okay, what the hell's going on? Like, how's this gonna become the next Lost? Because they're just not gonna know how to wrap it up, and they've already said in interviews that it's like they totally don't want to do anything like that, and they're writing the show differently than that.
Yeah. Um. Back to Fab though. I had one more topic I wanted to bring up to you. As I stare at Tara's Chungus face here. Um. Oh wait, did you freeze? Oh
No,
no,
I
you're
don't
frozen.
think
Oh no,
so.
you just held really still. Really, you were very intent. I was like, oh my gosh, he's frozen. Oh no, did I put something over his face
No,
again?
I'm just doing
No.
that Dennis Reynolds thing where
Yeah.
it's like we watched him for 12 hours and he's just
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, season 17 coming. Anyways, uh, one of the big topics that I see coming up a lot that I personally actually totally kind of agree with is why don't they have multiple armor sets in some of these armory decks? Like, why aren't we seeing like full null rune? Which I mean, it's not like a big money set of armor, right? But you see full null rune in how many deck lists for sideboarding? Like, isn't the idea of these armory decks to kind of like teach new players and what's more important in competitive play than like knowing how to sideboard? Like,
so I would say, have you ever bought a pre-constructed deck product for any game that had a sideboard?
no, no. But
Because
I
I
would
bought a
also
lot of
say,
Yu-Gi-Oh, bought a lot of MTG decks, and in those games, sideboards are very important. Um, but there's no sideboard in the decks.
and it just seems weird though, doesn't it? Like, why? Why not? Like, why set yourself up for failure? I think it would
Because I
elevate
think
a deck so
I think it's
much.
confusing.
I mean, it could be confusing, but
So not everybody is gonna like. I think that having Arcane Barrier in there is just sort of like giving somebody an exit point. Like whenever you're trying to, isn't that like one of the ideas that if you have somebody that is interested in your product, you try and give them as few reasons to quit as possible until they get further entrenched. So like I know that this is going to sound small, but people make these decisions and are impulsive people, and a small thing like not knowing which armor to play, and then like having to make a decision that then can feel like they made a mistake that they had no control over later. I could see that being an issue. And I get where you're saying, oh, well, what if they show up to an armory with just the armory deck and they sit down against the Kano across the table? I think that's just got to be entirely on the community. If you are playing a wizard or a rune blade and you sit down across from a new player that is playing an armory deck and you don't explain to them or allow them to have some null rune of your own, which you probably have in your own deck box or anything like that, you are just a bad person.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, eh, yeah. I mean, I can see
that
that. They do like to leverage the community, your local game store and stuff a lot more, but
I think that's very
also,
important, though.
I mean,
Like, if I don't know, man. Like, it's important to feel like the people that you're going to hang out with every week are cool and that you're friends. Like, why would I want to show up to play games with people I can't stand?
to beat them, to show that you're better than them. Why? I mean, that's the best type of people to humiliate and crush and defeat.
Well,
So,
you're not a narcissist enough then, because I'm already better than everyone around me. I don't need to beat them in a game to know that.
oh yeah, but you want them to go home and cry and feel bad about it. That's what I like to think about that. I'm like, yeah, they're probably crying right now, and they're eating some sad Taco Bell. Losers.
Oh, I would eat some happy Taco Bell, man. I just
Yeah.
I know we keep going off topic, but I don't really care because this podcast is also about us. And the potato taco has no business being as good as it is. The
I
veggie the
used to live
veggie
off of
menu at
those.
Taco Bell is crazy. It goes hard.
Well, and they hold well. So my meal prep for a very long time was like buy. Sorry, this dog is up my ass. This he really needs to go out, I think. But I would buy like 24 potato tacos and just eat like two every morning for breakfast because they just hold. They hold for weeks. And I'm like, this is perfect. Like, because they were at the time like 79 or 89 cents. They were so cheap. And I was like, why not? Well, it's
Yeah, man, the first time I started looking at like, you know what? I'm not really feeling meat, but I do kind of want a taco. Which is an odd place to be, but I've been like flirting with vegetarianism anyway. And yeah, man, I just blew me away. Couldn't believe that it tasted that as
yeah.
good as it was.
I thought you were gonna bring up the birthday churro, which everyone's raving about and loving.
I
Uh,
don't know what the birthday churro is, but the last time I got a churro from Taco Bell, it slapped real hard because it was like Cinnabon cinnamon on it, and it was like filled with deliciousness. Like,
yeah, it
not
was
gonna
filled
lie.
with like cake icing now.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a birthday cake, like a churro birthday cake. People are
Well,
raving about it.
whenever I ordered it, it didn't say that it was birthday cake. It was just like, like a warm fried churro, and it
Yeah.
had a filling, but like,
Well, I mean, this is new. I think this just came out like a week ago. So
oh. Well, I mean,
yeah,
if it's the other churro that they had was really good, so I might go try that.
I'm excited because I do keto, and they're introducing all cheese shells. So I'll be able to eat Taco Bell again.
I what?
Yeah.
So is that like sort of like you would do like a maybe like put some cheese on the griddle to make it crispy and then bend it and let it cool? Like that type of
Yep.
situation?
Yeah. People make them at home all the time. You can buy like molds and stuff to make sure they like shape better.
Yeah, or you can
So
just use tin foil, which is
yeah, yeah. I mean that's the poor people way for it, I guess. But I don't know. It's in my diet of mostly steaks. Tinfoil has no place here. So.
what, you don't tent your steaks to rest them?
No. What do I? I don't really don't do anything crazy for resting. Really, the secret to a good rested steak is a hot plate. That's what I learned.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that because you put it on a cold plate and you totally shock it. You have to you have to put your plates in like the a warmed oven for a minute.
Or even hot water. I learned that if you just run hot water in the sink and then put the plates under it, not even that long, it warms up the whole plate too. So
Yeah,
it's a lot
Gordon
quicker.
Ramsay, you end up on Hell's Kitchen. Hot food, hot plates.
I mean, that was a huge part of culinary school. In like one of my first post culinary school jobs was, yeah, we had dedicated rack or heating racks for plates and stuff like that, like these big plate warmer devices. Yeah, like that they'd pop up out of. It was super nice. Yeah.
I still wish to be honest, I'm pretty jealous of that. If I could go to culinary school but not have to owe any money about it, then I would do that. Unfortunately, it's probably like way, way, way too expensive to justify the cost unless you like know a famous chef that you've got an in with as soon as you're done.
Yeah, I mean, there's cheaper culinary schools. You don't have to go to like I went to like the top culinary school, accredited culinary school, I will say, in the country. So like that was obnoxiously expensive, but you don't have to do that. And I didn't even do anything with it career wise. So, but so I don't know, cordon bleu stuff. There's a lot of good cooking class, even here in the middle of nowhere. Um, uh, the local higher education council, like post education, we bring in culinary teachers and stuff just for classes and stuff like that, so you can come learn a bunch of dishes, which is really cool. So, like cooking, you can go do stuff like that. It's basically just culinary school. Yeah. Also, culinary school
Yeah.
is not all cooking, like you'd expect. Every 9 days, because each lab was 9 days, each like course. Every 9 days, I'd have to write a new 20-page paper. So yeah,
On what?
just something based in that class. So like about uh like in baking and pastry, we had to design like all of these different types of recipes and do huge write-ups about it. In soups and stocks, we had to write up about like food media or and like I don't know. It was dumb. It was awful. I made a lot of money writing other people's papers.
I was gonna say
It
it sounds
was
like a good way to like really kill somebody's enjoyment of something. You're like, boy, I love cooking and I love figuring out recipes. Oh, you want me to write the recipe down? That sounds great. Sure. No, I want you to write a thesis and then explain to me how you got to this recipe. Like, what was your thought process? What was an ingredient that you thought of, but that it didn't work? I don't even know how I would start to write a 20-page paper on a recipe.
yeah, it was awful. Or not.
They
I
were
mean,
they were
sometimes it
prepping
was just
you
about
to
like
write a food
styles,
blog.
right? Actually, they're prepping me for selling trading cards because you know what class I did best in?
What is that?
Well, cost control and management. The the one class where you make or break a restaurant is controlling, your portioning, your pricing, knowing, profitability. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just make a dish and I'll sell it. I'll just make. I was like, oh, this dish, yeah, what, $20? They lose like $5 a plate, and like they don't even think about it, right? There's a lot of things like the Q factor. In my video about cost, I talk a lot about the Q factor. Like
That was
the
actually
everything.
probably one of the most interesting things you've ever talked about.
I'm actually very passionate about like the shipping side of trading card sales. I don't know. Actually, to the point where I was considering, I'm like, maybe I could just work at a warehouse and do like shipping and delivery instead of just cards in general. But yeah, I don't know. That all came from cost control and management in kitchens and writing. We had to fully design restaurants with full menus, everything cost managed out for like 50 dishes. And I just crush it. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like it was the closest thing to a real world application where you actually had to like that's not writing a bullshit paper. That's like how would you start this business? and then like it could be applicable to the real world, or it could just be a teacher looking at your business plan.
Yeah, yeah. So no, it was cool. Actually, that was one of my favorite. It was actually a group project to a degree as well. And we actually had to find like real estate listings, the pricing, buying, and all that stuff. So yeah, no, it was cool. But yeah, and obviously, I mean, I'm still using that knowledge today. It's
Yeah, that's how you know not to list like 35 of a 10-cent card, because then if somebody buys all of them, you'll lose your ass on shipping.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, which TCG player has been a disaster this week. I know to get back onto the card side of things. I don't know if anyone else has had issues, but as a seller, well, you might have seen it as a buyer, though it's not as impactful on a buyer unless your seller canceled it. But like the orders were all screwed up this week. Well, mostly what day was it? Thursday.
Yeah, I think I saw some people in Purple Discord complaining as well as you.
Yeah. Well, their mass price tools all got screwed up as well. So normally it doesn't change the pricing of sealed product, but it did this time. And because it traditionally doesn't go right, there's no listings for it. So it automatically put it to whatever your minimum pricing was in the mass price tool, which for Pokemon for me was 15 cents. So it put all of my sealed product at 15 cents, and then someone bought all of it in a single order. And I'm like, hey, yeah, you're not getting all this for 15 cents a box. Sorry. Like, I'll send you one for free because I feel bad, but like, this is on TCG Player. I'm not gonna lose out on like hundreds of dollars because of it. Like,
Wait,
sorry.
what did you send for free?
Well, it's not even like a full sealed. The poster packs. I bought a ton of poster packs for Pokemon, so you can sell like parts of it. So I sell like the poster and the promo cards for $4. Like it's just cheap. It's not even that much, but I've got 22 of them, and then it auto priced them down to my minimum price because there's nothing to compare against because it's not usually used to mass price against. So
That sounds
yeah.
like somebody should have got fired.
Probably. I mean, I don't know how it is. They're also really
Because
small people, though, but like,
I know, but it sounds like somebody fucked around and released something into production, like on a really bad level. Like that's because if it did that to you, just imagine what it did to somebody with like real boxes, like having to go through and cancel all those orders or whatever.
yeah, and it doesn't feel good. Like I, I didn't even. I saw it come in last night, and I didn't even touch it till this morning. But like, I just laid in bed for like an hour, thinking like, what am I gonna say to this person? Like, I don't know. It still bothers me. I really hate not being able to deliver something.
This is
But
your karma for trying to buy those cold foil tech platings.
it is. It really is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to do this, but that's their fault. This wasn't my fault. Like they,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, that's how I kind of justify it. Was like, if I myself had gone in and manually set all those 15 cents and they all sold, that's my fault. I probably would have mailed them. I would just eat that loss. But like, it wasn't mine. It was the tool's fault, and I had no way to counter it. So because and that was the other thing is it bypassed, so there's right rules in place where it can't shrink below a certain percentage. So for me it's like 50%. If the mass price drops the price more than 50%, it just won't do it. It skips it. But it didn't for this. It completely bypassed that safety procedure as well. So I was so mad. Yeah, so anyways, TCG's on my bad side. Anyone out there who bought cards that were unreasonably cheap are sealed and then they got canceled, just know that we feel bad just about it as you do. I don't know.
Probably
No,
not.
well, no, probably not. No, but I mean, they're like, "Oh man, oops, I guess I didn't get away with it." But like, I don't know. I felt bad. Someone probably did get fired. TCG is probably not happy. Everyone's bad. Everyone's just upset about it. So sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to anyone out there that got affected by it.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. Yeah.
Anyway, before Dewey goes to the bathroom on your lap, we
Right.
might
Yeah.
wanna finish up.
Okay. Yeah, look forward. Actually, next. No, what I was thinking. I was thinking. If my Monarch cases come in, I'll do one case for a mail call, and then we can do another opening riled up with the second case.
Hell yeah. That
That's
means
what I
that
was
we
thinking.
are going to pull some. Well, if we're playing the universe game where I say, "Oh, you're gonna pull the thing I need some phantasmal footsteps." So let's get that going.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna get at least two in a single case. Probably in the same pack. I don't know. It's obnoxious. I don't. You and your luck. I
I
don't
gotta
know.
make
Let's
these
go with it.
calls so that when they happen, it's like you like remember, oh, he really did say that. You know?
Yeah.
Just it's like the Victor on your heavy case. I really did want that Marvel Adult Victor.
I know. And after how bad that One Piece box went, I need to make back some money real quick. It's that was
Oh,
an
you
astonishingly bad One Piece box.
uh,
I,
oh,
yeah, I think I ended up losing $120 on that box total.
that's like the whole price.
Yeah, yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
yeah, that
It
was
was
just
real
a
bad.
box
It
of
was
trash.
yeah. Actually, I was putting in those Pokemon packs last night finally, and I was like, ooh, wow, there's so many commons and rares worth like $1 in this set. Boy, did I miss every single one of them. I just, in like every set, I was dodging high price singles everywhere. I was like, oh, this is so bad.
That's
So
the way she goes.
that is thing. That's odds. So and I'll still keep opening them, but yeah, I don't know. That's just things even out eventually. But so look forward to that next week. 2 cases of Monarch first, and a box of Dust to Dawn, and maybe I'll show off some of the bulk. I've got a disgusting amount of bulk at my house. I don't know if we talked about that too much last week, but I've got 60,000 bulk on my kitchen table. My mom came over. She's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. I got it. It'll pay for itself. Don't worry. I hope. No, it definitely will." The 5,000 foils, 5,000 commons and rares. Oh, rainbow foils. That's gonna be great.
I
Maybe
don't
I'll.
I don't know what all is gonna be in that, but like there could very easily be gold in that. Like if this is somebody that bought into Dynasty and then they're like, this game sucks, Arachne sucks, and then you go and you get some foil shreds in that piece. Oof.
I got it all
Ooh.
from MinMax Game, freshly burgled. I
Oh.
think yeah. So, but like I said, I went. I just poked through the first 1,000. I had some foil red Zealous Beltings in there, which is like $4.50. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think they
would
pick through them. Yeah.
yeah, I would make sure to double check like all the reds for any playable stuff.
So a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Mail call. I've already got. Actually, the last mail call. I only showed half the cards I had. The
Oh
other
no.
half. Yeah. So the other half, I have still on top of all the new cards that came in. Oops, sorry, buddy, poked you in the face. So lots of exciting streams coming up next week. I might even have to do two. I might have to do two streams if I can squeeze them in, just to show off all the stuff that came in. So I'm very excited. Lots of fab content coming your way, guys and ladies. So that's that. Very exciting.
And
Any last
Edbees.
words? What?
I said and
Oh.
Edbees. But
Oh.
yeah, for the rest of this week, may the Chungus Terra watch over you.